Alright, Shalom Yasharallah. Before we get started, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Gwadash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone, and teaching Ruel. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Alright, we're back with another video. And the title of this video will be called, Uproars of the People. Alright, and I named that the title because the things that's going on around the world right now, things going on in Venezuela, in the UK riots, and there's the elder Hawad mentioned something about something happened in Kenya. We'll read those articles. We'll get some scriptures. It's not a lot, but we'll get the ones that I could think of, I came up with, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So Lord, let's listen to this edifying. And if you hear Salakia helicopter in the background making noise, and you still hear coughing, I'm getting over it, but still got the coughing going on, so just bear with me. All right, but let's get into these. Let's start with right here. All right, the People's Voice, UK PM, which is Prime Minister Keir Starmer, threatens, you see that, 2020 style lockdowns to stop protests. It says British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has vowed to impose 2020 style lockdowns to stomp out anti-immigrant protests erupting across the country. Facing a full-blown crisis less than a week, Salaki, it says facing a full-blown crisis less than a few weeks into office, recently installed WEF Young Global Leader Starmer gathered top cabinet ministers on Saturday, as civil unrest erupted in dozens of towns and cities throughout the UK in response to the murder of 3 young girls and the stabbing of 8 others, including children, by a 17-year-old Rwandan heritage second-generation immigrant on Monday. It says The Guardian, citing the far left Hope Not Hate organizations, reported that an estimated 35 locations had been scheduled to see protests on Saturday, some of which saw violent clashes between participants and the police, as well as attacks on businesses, particularly in Belfast, Hull, Liverpool, and Manchester. According to the Telegraph, at least 90 arrests were made throughout the country on Sunday. A Downing Street spokesman told the paper the Prime Minister set out that the police have our full support to take action against extremists on our streets who are attacking police officers, disrupting local Slovakia, disrupting local businesses, and attempting to sow hate by intimidating communities. The Prime Minister ended by saying the right to freedom of expression and the violent disorder we have seen are 2 very different things. He said there is no excuse for violence of any kind, and reiterated that the government backs the police to take all necessary action to keep our streets safe. You see, and that what's all necessary action? Martial law. All right, you being, if they gotta kill you, they will. You see, they're gonna make arrests, right? It says the hardline. Let me see how long this is. It says, I'll read another one. It says the hardline rhetoric from the left-wing PM, who has characterized the protests and riots as far right, on the outpouring of rage and violence, has been contrasted to his response during the deadly and deeply destructive BLM riots in 2020, when he infamously took the knee in solidarity with the Marxist movement and described those involved as people rightly demanding justice. The government has also faced criticism for refusing to discuss footage posted on social media appearing to show violent responses from large groups of Muslim or leftist counter-protesters. The Prime Minister's response to his first crisis of his expected 5-year term has been heavily criticized by the Reform UK party of Nigel Farage, who accused Starmer of failing to address the root cause of the anger, which is mass migration. You can read the rest of this on your own. You know, let me see if there's a video on YouTube we can pull up. You know, get into it more. UK riots. Let's see what comes up. This is a minute. This one. Stay tuned. Let me mute myself. And this is fair use. Fair use. We're not making no money off of this. All right, just going into the news. All right, and you know, bringing out some scriptures. So we're not making this fair use. You know how YouTube get.
Criminal violence and disorder has no place on Britain's streets. We've been clear to the police that they have our full backing in taking the strongest possible action against perpetrators, including we're making sure that there are more prosecutors, there are sufficient prison places, and also that the courts stand ready, because anyone who engages in this kind of disorder needs to be clear that they will pay the price.
Stop their boats! Stop their boats!
It's only my second time here. Is it? Yeah, I've only ever been here once.
You could best believe that something like this is going to come to America, man. All right. Well, whenever when the election comes around November, whoever wins, hey, especially if they let what's her name, Kamala Harris win, you can see something like this taken to the streets, man. All right. Civil war is going to come. It's prophesied coming to America, which is Egypt. All right, but let's keep watching.
We've seen Muslim communities targeted, attacks on mosques, other minority communities singled out, Nazi salutes in the street, attacks on the police, wanton violence alongside racist rhetoric. So no, I won't shy away from calling it what it is: far-right thuggery.
Go on, get yourselves out. There we go.
So you know, man, this is the stuff that's taking place. All right, and this is like I said, this is all gonna come to America, man. All right, riots. All right, people, you know, being killed, protests, all type of stuff, man. I'm surprised when that lady, Sonia, what's her name, Messi. I'm surprised that people didn't take to the streets over that, you know. But hey, this gonna get a lot worse, going on. You see, and as you noticed, they said it was a Muslim, so they can, some of this stuff, can be, stirred up by the elites, you know, so they can, they want to, because there's gonna be race wars as well. See, so hey man, everything's good is falling into place, man. The Lord, is about to bring all type of hell on this world. So let's get 2 Esdras chapter 9, right? I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, 2 Esdras 9 and 1. He hold on, Salakia. Okay, making sure I was on. 2 Esdras chapter 9 and 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And we're clearly seeing that the Lord, is bringing judgment upon the earth. We're seeing Hurricane Debbie. I think that's what it's called, Hurricane Debbie, that just hit Florida. All right, all types of hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes. Right, it tells you in the next verse. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. You see, so hey, we see the Lord is clearly. Let's get us in the GNT. He's clearly visiting the world which He made, man. And we see uproars of the people. We're seeing violence, right? See what it says in the GNT version. Say I just checked the 9. I think I read this before in the GNT. It says, he answered me, consider all these things very carefully. When you see that some of the signs I have told you about have appeared, you will know, hold on, verse 2, you will know that the time has come when God Most High will bring judgment on the world he has created. There will be earthquakes, national rebellions, international intrigues, unstable leaders, and confused rulers. When you see these things happening, you will know that they are what the Most High, God Most High, right, Yahweh, has spoken about since the beginning of creation. We got confused leaders. All right, Sleepy Joe. All right, confused as ever, man. He can't even walk straight without falling. All right, we got national rebellions. You see, unstable leaders. Kamala Harris, in my opinion, is going to be an unstable leader if she ever gets in the presidency, man. And Trump. Unstable leaders, man. You see? Now, when the elect are set up, the 144,000 and the remnant, the multitude, they're going to be the leaders of the world. They see of the universe, really. Starting with Yahweh Shai, all right? They'll be the stable, that stability, man. All right, that's going to be set up in the earth through the what? Through the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. See? So let's go to this article now. Over here, it says Venezuela is racked with protests and election uncertainty. Here's what to know. It says criticism is mounting, and this was a few days ago. All right, Wednesday, July 31st. It says criticism is mounting against Venezuela's authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro, after deadly protests erupted across the country following its disrupted presidential election. Slovakia. Let's actually watch this. All right, I'm gonna play this video.
Introducing Milo's Rewards, the new way to unlock savings from the palm of your hand. With every purchase, all loyalty members earn points toward Milo's money. Plus, you get free gifts and free shipping. The all-new Milo's Rewards program is here. Download the app to join, earn, and save today.
Have erupted in
Introducing Milo's Rewards, the new way to unlock savings from the palm of your hand. With every purchase, all loyalty. The all-new Milo's Rewards program is here. Download the app to join, earn, and save today.
Protests have erupted in the city center of Caracas after the government-controlled electoral authority proclaimed Nicolas Maduro as the winner of Sunday's presidential election, an election which results were disputed. Those results have triggered widespread anger. About 50 meters from where I am, you can see the tear gas at the bottom of this road, of this avenue, because there are intense clashes with the government security forces of Nicolas Maduro. You can see there a semi-armored vehicle. I can see that from the bottom. People around me are shouting on a microphone that they want freedom and that they won't leave the street until Nicolas Maduro is ousted. What they've been telling me that they felt that this election, albeit not free nor fair, was competitive and that it was the real shot to restore democracy in this country, and they hope to put an end to the dramatic economic crisis that has engulfed Venezuela since Maduro became president.
Slovakia. So you see, you know, and these are majority of those people down there are Israelites from the Northern Kingdom. See, now are all of them Israelites? No, some of them could be tares, you know, other nations, right? Who look like, you know, so-called Hispanics and Native Americans, but majority of these people, they are actually Israelites, man. You see, so Slovakia. But let's get into this article. It says, Slovakia, give me 1 second. It says criticism is mounting against Venezuela's authoritarian leader Nicolas Maduro after deadly protests erupted across the country following its disputed presidential election. Venezuela's opposition and multiple Latin American leaders have refused to recognize Maduro's victory in the July 28 vote, which was announced by the country's electoral authority, a body stacked with the president's allies. At least 11 people have been killed in the protests, according to the non-governmental organization Foro Penel, and Venezuelan authorities said that more than 1,000 people have been detained. The Attorney General Tarek William Saab said Wednesday that 77 law enforcement officers had been injured in clashes with protesters, and that a National Guard sergeant had been killed on Tuesday. Woo! CNN has not been yet able, it says CNN has not yet been able to verify the death toll, and has reached out to the Venezuelan police. Meanwhile, an important opposition figure was allegedly kidnapped, according to his supporters, while the country's army, which has long backed Maduro, reaffirmed its support for the strongman. The election was seen as the most consequential poll in years, with Venezuela's stalling democracy and hopes of recovery, its shattered economy on the line. Though Maduro has promised free and fair elections, the process was marred with allegations of foul play. With opposition figures arrested, their key leader banned from running, opposition witnesses allegedly denied access to the centralized vote count, and overseas Venezuelans largely unable to vote. Many young opposition supporters said they would leave the country if Maduro was re-elected, pointing to the devastating collapse of Venezuela's economy and violent repression under his rule. But an energized opposition movement, which enjoyed strong polling figures prior to the vote, had Slovakia, bear with me, y'all, had been seen as the ruling establishment's toughest challenge in 25 years. See, so I'm gonna put this in the link in the description. I'm not gonna read it, everything. All right, but like I said, man, it's uproars of the people. As we saw in the video, these people are highly angry. All right, and protests, war, all that. You see, and this is a shadow of what's going to come to America. All right, Isaiah 19 and 2. I'm starting at 1. Message to Egypt, which is what? This is modern day Egypt is what? This Egypt is talking about America. All right, Revelation 11 and 8. All right, let's go read that. Matter of fact, it says what? It says in their dead bodies, which is what they're talking about. The Israelites, they're spiritually dead, not literally dead. Right? Their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is what America, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. You see, so this is the great city that it's talking about. All right, now going back to Isaiah 19 and 1, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord, whose name is Yahweh, rideth upon a swift cloud, which is going to be his son. All right, the Yahweh Shai is going to come in, that spirit of Yahweh, of his father, right? And shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. You see, this is what's coming to the streets of America, Babylon the Great, civil war. All right, let's read this in another translation. It says what? NLT, I will make Egyptian fight against Egyptian, brother against brother, neighbor against neighbor, city against city, province against province. You see? Let's go to the GNT, matter of fact, because it tells you, it actually says the word civil war in it. Right? This is Isaiah, hold on. Isaiah 19 and verse 1. It says, this is a message about Egypt. The Lord is coming to Egypt, riding swiftly on a cloud. The Egyptian idols tremble before him, and the people of Egypt lose their courage. The Lord says, I will stir up civil war in Egypt, and turn brother against brother, and neighbor against neighbor. Rival cities will fight each other, and rival kings will struggle for power. You see? So those are literally going to bring civil war. This is prophesied, man. We're not saying this for no reason. This is actually going to happen. We're really going to see, destruction in the streets. Anarchy, riots, people dying from starvation, from being killed. All right, we're really going to see this with our own eyes. But we Lord willing, if we're of the elect, the Lord will, He'll keep us safe, man. And you got to believe that. You got to believe that because our faith has to be strong in these days. Because there's going to come a time where we're not going to be able to go home, watch a video, that the elder apostles or the bishops or the elders, the GMS that they uploaded, or even do our own videos. You see, so this is a thing we got to take serious, and if you can take notes, get into your mind, read. This goes to myself as well. I ain't just saying this to y'all. I'm saying this for myself too, man. All right, this stuff is about to take place, so we gotta prepare ourselves spiritually and mentally. All right, through the spirit of Yahweh Shai Shai. All right, so civil war is prophesied, man. And this is a blessing that the Lord has blessed us with, to know what's coming, to prepare us to prepare us for the things that's about to come upon the earth. Right. So let's get Mark. Mark. Salakia, yeah, Mark 3 and 23. It says, and when he called unto him, Salakia, and he called them unto him, and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against Satan, Salakia, and if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. You see, he was talking to the scribes and Pharisees because they really blasphemed the Holy Spirit by saying, he was doing miracles through Beelzebub, right? I'm sorry, this is the NLT, Mark 3:23. Jehoshaphat called them over and responded with an illustration How can Satan cast out Satan, he asks. A kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. See? Similarly, a family splintered by feuding will fall apart. And if Satan is divided and fights against himself, how can he stand? He would never survive, you see? So civil war is going to come. And this kingdom is divided. All right, we're in the part of the toes. All right, part iron and part clay. This kingdom is divided, man. This is the Edomites. They're divided. That's why you got Russia, coming against, America, man. They're Edomites too, but it's divided, like we say all the time, So I'm gonna get this last one right here. All right. It says, I believe this is one that Elder Hawaii was talking about. Why are Nigerians protesting? Young people were roused by events in Kenya. A protest organized by unions and youth groups about the cost of living crisis on Nigeria's Democracy Day in June passed off quietly, drawing just a few hundred people in the country's biggest city, Lagos, and the capital, Abuja. And don't forget, we're scattered among the nations. So, some Nigerian, majority of Nigerians are Israelites. I believe the Igbo and the Ashanti, all right? Even people like some in Kenya. We're scattered all over the world, man. It says, then things started to kick off in Kenya. Young Kenyans angry at the prospect of increased levies on essential foodstuffs occupied parliament in Nairobi amid violence that claimed more than 20 lives. Kenya's president, William Ruto, was forced to withdraw his finance bill and dissolve his cabinet. Across the continent, that gave a shot in the arm to the young people in Nigeria, who announced 10 days of protests across the country for August. And it struck fear into the government officials, still on edge after the protests in October 2020 against police brutality that cost more than a dozen lives. With one eye on securing re-election in 2027, Bola Tinubu, the first career politician to become president in decades, and officials in his government swung into action. Tinubu, 72, all these guys are old, approved of 70,000 naira, minimum, I believe that's their money, minimum monthly wage against a backdrop of 40% food inflation. After weeks of prodding by the unions, on July 25th, he held several closed-door meetings with governors of the ruling All Progressive Congress and his national security advisor, Nuhu Rabadu, as well as traditional rulers from across the country, the justice and information ministers and police chief. The National Economic Council meeting due the same day as scheduled. In the days that followed, the military and secret police said they would take to the streets to forestall violence in Africa's most populous country. Sources say ruling party members gave money to Yulmas, it says Islamic scholars, in the north and activated influencers in the south. Then ruling party members, several leaders of student groups, religious clerics, and even opposition leaders began urging their compatriots not to protest. Why the news about the protest got to the highest point at the moment is because Kenya had an outing. Kenya is a small country compared with Nigeria. Benjamin Kalu, deputy leader of the House of Representatives, said in Parliament, while offering to slash his salary by half. Tell your children to stay at home. The president is doing well, said the Women Affairs Minister, Eugene Kennedy. And you can read it, like I say, read the rest on this on your own. But it's uproars of the people, man, all over the world. And soon, it will come to America, Babylon the Great, like we always prophesy. All right. So, man, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to you, brothers and sisters out there. All right, I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. And the water, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, forgive me the spirit, do this lesson. Lord willing, it was edifying to you brothers and sisters. All right, that's in his faith. Until next video, Shalom. Kwame Sharala wa Ababa.